Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This week I am doing my 17-week pregnancy update. So this week, baby is the size of a pomegranate, and some of the apps will tell you in addition to a fruit or vegetable size, they will tell you other things that the baby's the size of. And so this week, the baby is the size of a game controller, which my husband appreciated that analogy. He could actually understand that baby size and is like, wow, it's getting big, which it is. This week, baby is about 5 inches long and weighs about 5 ounces. This week in the baby's development, the cartilage that has made up the baby's skeleton so far is starting to turn to bone, and the brain is starting to kind of take over certain things. The heartbeat used to just beat at random, and now it's being controlled by the brain, which is kind of cool. The baby is also starting to practice sucking and breathing to prepare for life on the outside. I had a doctor's appointment this week and I got to hear the baby's heartbeat, and it's measuring in the upper 140s, lower 150s, so all healthy. Also at that doctor's appointment, I had some blood work done to do some genetic testing that my doctor suggested. I did pass on the one that'll tell you if the baby is a boy or girl, because I'm really close to my anatomy scan anyway, and I did a blood test on my own, and we had an ultrasound already where it was pretty clear. So I kind of passed on that one, but I am doing some of the other genetic testing that's been suggested. I was also referred to a specialist of the maternal fetal medicine. I've got an appointment there in 2 weeks, and they're going to be doing my anatomy scan. I was referred to them because of my father. He was born with a genetic heart condition. He has a coarctation of the aorta. So I had to go to them with Lincoln, so I was not surprised that this doctor wants me to get a consultation with them as well. And they are going to be doing my anatomy scan, which I'm slightly bummed about, because the people I was able to go to for my first trimester ultrasound actually allow visitors or guests, which is very rare during coronavirus. Every single doctor's appointment I've had to be by myself, and so I was really surprised they let Adam in, and the specialist is not allowing guests, which I'm not surprised. So I'm kind of bummed that he's going to miss that big ultrasound, but I'm glad he was able to go to the first one at least. So those are the specifics about this baby this week. Let's move on to me and my symptoms and things that are going on with this pregnancy. So sleep up to this point has been okay. This week was terrible. The worst week that I've had sleep-wise. I just didn't sleep. I could not fall asleep for hours. So uncomfortable. I could not find a comfortable position. My legs just ached so bad from like my knees down. And I don't know, it could be from, what do I have? Varicose veins. It could be from my varicose veins. That typically causes very similar pains. Or it could be restless leg syndrome. I'm not sure, but they were just so uncomfortable. I could not find a good position. It was not comfortable to lay on my back. It's not comfortable to lay on my stomach anymore. If I laid on my side, my hip would start to really hurt. Didn't matter what side I laid on. I broke out my maternity pillow that I loved my last pregnancy with Lincoln. I'll link it below. It wasn't helping at all. I just couldn't sleep. And when I would finally fall asleep, I would have these crazy bizarre dreams that would wake me up. It was just pretty bad. I would wake up usually around like 4 o'clock in the morning and not be able to fall back asleep. I typically wouldn't be able to fall asleep till like 1 o'clock in the morning, so really I would only get maybe 4 hours a night if I was lucky. It was awful. Okay, cravings. I have had some food cravings this week, mostly for Boston Market. Specifically the mac and cheese, and I blame my girlfriend for this because she mentioned it to me on a Marco Polo, and I have not been able to like stop thinking about it since. So I went twice this week, even though it's a 45-minute drive. Emotionally, I have been super moody, and very easily angered. Things that normally wouldn't bother me have made me seriously irritated, angry, mad. I've not necessarily been like the yelling angry, because that's not usually my MO. Typically, I just kind of like shut down and shut you out. So I've been giving a lot of the silent treatment, which isn't really fair, but that's hormones for you. I don't know. Other things going on this week, started this week was round ligament pain. I've never experienced this before. Never in my pregnancy with Lincoln, and I did not know what was happening. I would have these stabbing pains on my left side, but it was really bad. I explained it to a couple of my girlfriends and they were like, oh, yep, that's what it is. And I mentioned it to my doctor and she was like, yep, before I can even finish talking, she's like, round ligament pain. I'm like, man, it really sucks. Also this week, my tendonitis has started acting up. So about like 5 or 6 years ago, I first started having issues with my left leg in my groin area. I went to a doctor, I got checked out, x-rays and all that kind of stuff, and was told I have tendonitis. And it's come back a few times since then, and this is feeling like it's the exact same location, the exact same type of pains, and it's just like stabbing pains in like my groinish area, like hip, groin area on my left side, to the point where like my leg will just give out and I never know when to expect it. So I've been really making an effort not to carry Lincoln anywhere, which has been really hard for him. He does not understand. So that started again this week, and I do remember that happening during my last pregnancy. I don't know if it's officially like tendonitis. That's what I'm calling it because it feels the exact same as when I was diagnosed with tendonitis. It could be round ligament pain as well. I don't really know. I just know it sucks. My headaches have continued this week. Not really anything crazy, strong, just like a consistent, dull headache. It also could be from lack of sleep. So the rest of this update might be a little TMI. So if you want to click off now, I won't be offended. But I feel like there are things in pregnancy that people don't necessarily talk about a lot because it can be slightly embarrassing. But I feel like moms need to know this stuff. So here we go. This week in the TMI section, I've noticed that the hair on my stomach is growing really long. And I think I noticed it because at my doctor's appointment, you lift your shirt and they do like the Doppler on your belly. Is it a Doppler? Is that what it's called? I think so. And I noticed my belly is super hairy. Like, your hair grows, I feel like, a lot during pregnancy, but like I didn't realize it would grow faster everywhere else. And it does. Also, I have become super duper gassy. I always burp a lot. It's my husband's least favorite attribute of mine. He can't stand it, but whatever. But like this week I've become super farty, and not just like gassy, but they like stink. And my farts don't typically stink, at least not to me. And this week it's really, really bad. And if that wasn't like sucky enough, it's also accompanied with like really bad gas pains in my stomach, which is not comfortable. Also this week, I have started peeing a ton. I feel like I typically have like a larger bladder than most people. I don't usually go to the bathroom nearly as often as most people. But this week, I've been running to pee constantly, all of the time. And it's really frustrating. Because and it just be like a little bit. Also, this week, even though my energy level is really low, my libido is super high. I find my husband so ridiculously attractive all the time. Like, I'm mad at him a lot too, but I still find him ridiculously attractive. And I just cannot get enough of him. I don't know. And it's also kind of weird. This is, again, we're getting into the super TMI area here. But there's a certain, without going too far into details, because, you know, let's keep some things personal. But there's a certain position, I'll say, that I've never really been a huge fan of. It's just like, okay, it doesn't really do anything for me. But my husband loves it. And I will agree every once in a while because I know he enjoys it so much. But it really does nothing for me. That's what I've been wanting all the time. I don't know why. It's really weird. Pregnancy is weird. I don't get it. It just feels so much different. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that before I go too far into the TMI zone. I hope you enjoyed this 17-week pregnancy update. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and go ahead and click the subscribe if you want to follow along. This pregnancy, I am trying to do updates every week. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!